sense going into the season? And I know you have the same philosophy going in every season, but maybe what's one some of the one or two things that have you most excited about going into this particular season?
Well, I like the new challenge of trying something new. I've always been, if this is a personnel driven thing and we need to change some things, there's always excitement with change, and and I think it's been good for us, and I think it's fit us well. So that, along in getting the opportunity to evaluate players during the summer, see the competition between them. We always have competitive practices, workouts, and watching kids battle. It makes them better, and as long as they stay focused, I think we have an opportunity to be right in that number in terms of being competitive week to week. But that's the exciting part of it, watching kids grow and develop, through the years and coming through the program, and seeing their desire and how bad they want it.
On offense, let's start with your offense and start with the quarterback position, and what's going on there, and how do you see that playing out?
Well, coming out of spring and summer, we're probably going to give Grant Bilson the start. He's really had a good summer. Feel like he's a young guy with a lot of potential. Caleb Frost, tremendous athlete. We feel like we can utilize him better at receiver. He's got tremendous speed.
Talk about what you got going on up on the O-line.
Well, Jared Mybaum is our anchor. He's our returning starter. He had a great year for us last year. Has had a great spring and summer. So he's the guy with the most experience. Probably the next guy with the most experience is Brandon Nolan. He started a few games for us last year. Max Dufour is a newcomer to center. He's had a really good spring and summer as well. Chase McClellan got some time for us, a little time for us last year. Nick Vining at right tackle is going to be a newcomer for us. But we also feel like we got a lot of depth because we played a bunch of those guys in JV and spot places. So going into the season, we feel like we've got a good 9 guys that can play those 5 spots, which helps us depth-wise.
Talk about your running game and what you see. Again, I look at there, I see some names that I know, and just talk about what's different about your running game from last year and what you see there.
Well, we have Mitchell Smith back and Carter Ely.
Right.
So both those guys will probably do running back by committee. Carter will probably play some fullback in certain situations. We're probably going more to a pro style sets.
Okay.
Kind of like we did back, way back when. We feel like, our personnel is just suited to that. Danny Sears will play some fullback and tight end, and Daniel Zuckerman will play tight end. So we're going to play more with tight ends and fullbacks in our sets.
And having another Sears in there, that's got to be exciting for you. And I hear that Kenny's coming back to help coach a little bit. If
Yeah,
that's true. So that must be exciting for you.
Yeah, and can give you gray hair too. But, but needless to say, yeah, it's special situation where I got both my boys with me in the program, and certainly I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. And they're both super competitive like me, so I'm sure it'll be interesting sometimes. But Kenny will do quarterbacks for us, and he's done a great job in the development of our guys so far.
Speaking of the defensive side of the football, and I look up there, and we know that you got a couple of really kids that you're really excited about going into the season, and everybody talks about Galloway and what he's going to mean to this team, and but just talk about the defense overall before we get into the personnel, about how excited you are. I know this defense has kind of been shaping up for you. This could be a big year for your defense.
Yeah, and that's where most of our returning starters come back on that side of the ball. But I feel like in that area we also have depth because we play a lot of guys on defense. Yes. Obviously Wayne is a centerpiece of that, but also we feel like we have an opportunity to be pretty good in the front 7 because we have a lot of experience there and depth. Jacob Frolick, we moved down to tackle. and obviously he was a starter for us. And Michael Crockett had a phenomenal year for us last year at the other defensive end. In terms of linebackers, all those linebackers, Miles started for us at Mike. Rhett started at the outside linebacker. Brady Loisel and Ian McCarthy both started, play games. Ian will also give us some depth at safety as well. We really have one newcomer to the secondary, and that'll be Daniel Dufour at corner. But he's just, really played well throughout spring and during the summer in 7-on-7s, and he's really locked down that position. The other corner is going to be MICA'H Crockett, who played safety for us last year and doubled at running back, and MICA'H gives us experience at corner as well.
Let's get into your schedule a little bit, and it's a little different this year. There's no car to start off with for the first time in 5 years. You start off with McMain, and just talk about your pre-district schedule and what you hope to accomplish out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're one game at a time, so, Carr, I think, has a commitment with Curtis playing the Dome. So, that kind of ended our series. Hopefully we'll get back to it in a couple of years. We certainly love playing them. Right. It's always a great game, great competition. But, we're focused on that first one, and pre-district-wise, our annual game with Jesuit Week 2 is always going to be a tough one, and Destrehan obviously is always a powerhouse in the challenge. So we feel like those 3 games are going to get us ready for it.
Coach, talk about district this year. Every year's different. Last year there was some dynamic players, but this year there's some turnover. But it's a very interesting district. I think, as usual, it's kind of open, and you don't know who's going to come out of the mix. You look at a team like Ponchatoula, who's got a quarterback who's headed to LSU. Slidell's got some turnover, but North Shore's got a new coach and probably going to have a solid defense. But you can run through the district, and Mandeville's got exceptional speed at skill positions. Just talk about the challenges every year, but in particular this year, what you're going to have in 6-5A.
I think there's a lot of parity in our league, especially this year. Obviously, a lot of these teams have a lot of talented players and great coaching. One team really last year that we felt like, we kind of do a little eval at the end of the year with our kids, and our kids felt like Hammond was one of the best defenses we've played.
I mean to leave them out.
It's one of the toughest defenses that we went up against. So, I don't know if there's any bottom of the district, and I don't know if there's any top of the district. I think everybody's going to be a game-by-game situation, and hopefully that pre-district schedule gets us tough for those battles.
Lastly, Coach, just overall, do you have the same expectations every year? Do you tell the kids kind of the same things, or does it depend on the personnel and change up? I mean, and specifically, what are your expectations for this year?
I'm going to tell you, we're one game at a time. We'll add them up at the end. But, our expectations is to compete as hard as we can, every play, every down. That's why we make our system and everything we do in the off-season so competitive. We're going to prepare well, and, our expectation all the time is to take them one at a time and win a district championship and get to the Dome, win a state championship. So, that's always there. We talk to our kids about that, but the only way to get there is to do it one game at a time.
20 years doing this, what's the biggest difference in 20 years for you?
The biggest difference? That's hard to say, Jim. I still love doing it, still have energy to do it. Probably one of the biggest differences, I've got 2 sons with me doing it, so if I were to point out anything, so I'm real excited about that and being with them.
You think you'll still be wearing this shirt and doing this 20 years from now?
If I live that long, yeah. If they don't kill me.
Coach Ken Sears, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.